Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're Van Life Sheldon's Travels. Sheldon, he's our little yellow belly slider turtle. He's actually hanging out in the van in his tank this morning, just relaxing. But we're still here at Seven Feathers Casino in Oregon. And we're still hanging out with Dave, relaxing this morning. It wasn't too cold today, but earlier this morning we heard a helicopter flying in, and I didn't know what it was in the beginning. We got a truck coming through, but as soon as it started, it got past us, I heard the thunk, thunk, thunk. Knew exactly what it was, the helicopter landing, and we got out. And I'll put a little clip in right now of them loading up and taking off on a helicopter. We actually have a subscriber, Ken. I want to give you a little shout out. He actually makes aviation helicopter parts. Really nice guy. I talk to him at least once a week. Now let's see if he dips the front down as a little hello. Like I said, I'm not sure what the emergency was. It did come in here pretty hot this morning, but as you can tell, they're not leaving in a hurry. And as easily as they were here, they're gone.
It's not something you see every day.
Not as something you see every day. Pretty sure it was just some routine thing they were doing, testing on coming here or whatever. It didn't seem to be an emergency of any kind. So, but before we head out of here this morning, we're actually going to do a little tour of Dave's rig. He's living in this thing full time. He's from the East Coast, so he's traveled all the way over here to the West Coast like a lot of us do. So much easier, and he's loving it over here. So we'll introduce you to him. You saw him in the last video of us going in the casino and having dinner, but let's go check out his rig and introduce you to Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave Onan. I've got a Instagram and a Facebook channel under the name Dave Onan. Come check me out. I travel around in my 02 Dodge Ram van. Been full-time for the last 3 months. Left out of North Carolina a while back after selling my house. I like to travel around to breweries. I've been to 275 since I started keeping count, and just checking out wild, wacky, quirky things in town and taking pictures and telling stories. Come check me out.
Awesome. Yeah, I love your pictures, and I love how you write a description about every place you go to.
Thank you, Steph.
And you're pretty adamant about it too. Like
I try.
You're consistently adding pictures.
It gives me
and
something.
like
Well, y'all are my motivation, you know. I want to grow up to be just like you guys.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Or grow down in your case.
Oh, well, thanks.
And that's how you grow on social media.
Exactly.
You have to be consistent, right? And that's the key to social media, is being consistent.
So furthermore, should we check out your rig, Dave?
Please.
Awesome, definitely.
It's
Thanks
modest,
so much
but it's home.
Hey, that's all.
And
that matters,
anywhere
right?
I park.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll let you explain.
Well, I bought this about 14 months ago, $4,000. It was a wheelchair access vehicle. It had a lift right here, came with a high top, which is important at 6'2". I got to be able to stand up,
of course,
and I just barely do. Sold the wheelchair lift for about $500, which offset the cost. The big deal on the van is it came with 47,000 miles on it, original. It's now pushing 69,000.
You have less miles on your rig than I do mine.
Exactly. And I thought it was going to be like new, was just broke in, but 16 years of sitting is about as bad as 16 years of driving. So it took some pretty extensive repairs, including 2 transmissions, which you can see on my Instagram and my fun time in Redding, California. But she's running like a top now with a new brain, and gonna keep going and taking me where I need to go. I call it the 555, named after the transcontinental engines that Norfolk Southern used to haul from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's their biggest engine, 32,000 horsepower. It's only a V8, but it's still the little engine that could, hauling my butt from North Carolina to California.
Good deal.
Well, that's interesting.
And now all the way up here to Oregon. So,
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of thought went into that name, huh?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I like it.
It was originally going to be Buckethead, but no one will get the reference unless you're a Primus fan. Redid the paneling from the original van paneling after insulating it. Yeah, that's fake pallet wood.
But it's got insulation in
It's got insulation, and it's cheap and effective, and you got to touch it to figure it out.
Right.
It's not real. I put some Cooper AT tires on it, mainly on the pavement, but I like the confidence when I do get off in the woods that I got a little extra traction. Been up some roads that probably should have been 4-wheel drive, and it keeps on hauling.
And how big of a lift top is that?
That's 24 inches, I believe.
I'm sure someone's going to ask me how big of a high top
Yeah.
that is. So
Yeah, it's ground to top with solar panels and everything. It's about 10.5 foot tall.
Right.
I'm 6'2", and I stand inside with about a ½ inch to spare.
All right. As we come around the corner here, you can tell he's got the windows on the side. And I see you have some stuff up on the top.
Yeah, I got 3 100-watt Renji solar panels, the Max Air fan, which is the best and the most needed thing in the world.
I agree. We love our Max Air fan.
It's almost as good as having air conditioning.
Yeah, almost.
Almost. And those solar panels drop down into a 40 amp, 40 watt MPP solar controller and 200 amp hour AGM batteries for a total of 400 amp hours. And I got a 1500 watt inverter, and I never plugged in anywhere, don't really have a chance to do it. It's giving me everything I need. I've got a split charger on my alternator to catch me up on those rainy days in Oregon when I'm not getting much sun. But even on a cloudy day, I'm pulling in 84 watts. So I'm not lack for power.
Good deal. Well, as you can tell, how tall are you?
6'2", and I've got just about a finger's width before I hit the ceiling.
That's all you need is a finger's width up there, right?
Yep.
All right. Well,
Got my full kitchen set up here.
Yep.
Got a 5-gallon galvanized bucket is my sink.
And who did you steal that idea from?
Max and Lee,
Max
the
and
most
Lee.
gorgeous van life couple ever, Australian Canadian, with their dog Aki.
Yep.
And it just drains down into a 5-gallon gray water container.
That works.
I got a simple 12-volt water pump. Pumps out of 2 5-gallon freshwater jugs. And then to make this space a little more usable, it's got a round wood tabletop.
Same kind of table that we have. That's the same size that was in the van before the remodel. And we just bought a smaller one for this remodel. So you use that pretty much the same way as we do. Has a little extra space.
It helps to hide the dirty dishes you didn't use.
There you go.
And gives you a little extra counter space. Doubles as a cutting board. I opted to keep my stove mobile instead of mounted in the counter. So if I want to cook outside, I can. If I need to sear a big old steak and smoke the place up, I can do it outside. And it also keeps my countertop free. So I got a 2-burner LP stove. I carry a 20-pound cylinder. I got the space for it, plus I have a Mr. Heater. And the little green bottles just don't cut it with a Mr. Heater.
Nope.
That lasts me months.
Yep.
And it's
Does
easy.
all one purpose.
Got an extension hose up here, or it goes to the stove, or it comes out and goes to the Mr. Buddy heater. Keeps them nice and warm, and then a bunch of random junk. I got little cheap drawers right there that
That's all you need, right?
hold the silverware and stuff, and then the 2 boxes over the wheel well hold my cooking gear and my my dry foods.
Dry goods.
Perfect.
So it's everything I need.
All right.
I even got my Oregon green bag to recycle my cans.
Yep.
Save the environment, get a little extra beer money.
Why not, right?
Yep.
Save that 10 cents. Get it back.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
The front cab up here is pretty much the standard cab on a Dodge Ram. So, but he does not need the passenger seat, so he uses it for storage. And you have one of the Costway compressor refrigerator or freezer. You can see you're using it as a fridge.
Yep. Quote. Holds a lot of beer.
Yeah, I bet. 42 degrees. One of the interesting things, he made his own mother-in-law attic up here, and I'm going to kind of slowly go down to show you. He used some of these, I guess they use them in semi-tractor trailers to load shifters, and they hold a lot of weight. I'm not sure how many hundreds of pounds, 800 pounds. I'll say how many hundreds of pounds, because I know. And you basically locked those in place and built a little wooden shelf to have some storage up top.
A lot of storage. It was a lifesaver.
That's going to keep everything up and out of the way, because you don't need all that headroom up there.
I
so
got 4 seasons, because I don't know where I'm going to be at any given time.
That's true.
Heater, I got 0-degree sleeping bag, I got warm weather and cold weather clothes.
And of course, I'm going to spin you around slowly. Like he said, he loves to go to the breweries. So here's his sticker collection. You know I'm a sticker fan, so it's good to go. Some simple but very effective little cubbies here for different things.
That's that release adhesive.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
it sticks to the plastic, because I can't bolt anything to
The fiberglass.
the ceiling at all.
The bed in the back has a little table with plenty of storage underneath. Of course, a little 12-volt TV here on the side with a DVD player built into it. Multiple fans. I'm just going to kind of shift over here. He's actually made his own little porta potty area.
The most important thing.
You always need a nice bathroom on the road. And I'm going to show you one more thing before we get to the back of the van and show you a little bit of the back. But another of the mother-in-law suite. A lot of these vans, even the smaller vans, have dual air conditioning and heat. He actually just decided to keep it, but rerouted a little bit. So there's the vents for the rear AC and heat. That worked out pretty good.
It really cools the place down, or heats it up. And you gotta do something.
You gotta have some kind of heat, and a nice little stool there for you too. A nice little chair if you need one. Well, let's look around the outside before we head out of here.
Definitely. Yeah, the back of the van, I got my emergency transportation. In case you run out of gas or you need to get somewhere, you can always hop on the bike and go. My garage is pretty much too messy to open up and show anything, because it's just filled to the brim with tools and batteries and knickknacks and clothes and everything I own.
That's why it's a garage,
Exactly.
right?
That's where you keep the junk. But the back of the van, my solar comes in back here and drops down. The batteries are right there. Obviously, I've branded my van with its name, and then just a few stickers on the back just to let people know what I like and what I think about, and where it's going to maybe be me.
Yep.
My end is the road, and then I have a remote temperature sensor, so I can tell what the temperature inside the van and outside the van, which on a cold day can make you proud that you're not freezing.
Outside, right?
20 degrees outside, 50 in the van.
Yep.
Exactly.
Very nice.
That's
So
it is nice to have.
Let's take a little, get a little closer to the stickers in the back. I see you went to Descend this year.
Oh yeah, first year at Descend is an awesome event. I will be back.
Last year, and we probably will go in the future again. But all right, well, it was really, really nice meeting up with you here.
That was awesome meeting up with you guys. I followed you for a long time, and
I saw that you were close,
Yep.
and I was like, we had tried to meet up a couple of times, and I just thought, well, he's close a couple hours from me. Why not send a message and say, hey,
got it, and the next
are
day,
you still here? And
we're hooking up at the casino about halfway between each other.
all right.
Perfect.
So if I see that you're in the area or you're around us and you're commenting and doing stuff on Facebook and Instagram, I'll give you a shout out like I did to you, right? And just be like, hey, you want to meet up? So it's not always the other side where the subscriber is getting a hold of the YouTuber. This time I actually contacted
Reached
you
out to
and
me,
was like, hey.
And I'm glad I did, because I found out they're even cooler people in real life than they are on their YouTube, but they're pretty cool there too.
Oh, you know,
and I got
to meet
Sheldon.
No, just kidding.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
he's the star of the show.
He's cute. He's a cute little butter.
Yeah, we love that guy.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll see you down the road again.
You definitely will.
And now we exchange numbers, and we'll be able to figure out where each other's at. If we're in the same area, we'll be camping again.
Yeah,
so
we'll be looking for that big 555.
Exactly.
And
Uncle Triple Nickel.
And if you want, like I said, go over to your Instagram. You want to say it one more time?
It's Dave Onan, O-N-A-N. At both Facebook and Instagram.
And you've been doing some reviews on iOverlander too. If you see his name,
Dave Onan there.
I kind of trust his reviews on iOverlander, and I'll kind of
very honest reviews. I like that a lot.
So I love it when people are posting on these freecampsites.net, iOverlander. So I give you a big thumbs up.
It helps
for
me
that.
find a place, and the more people that comment on a place, the better you feel that this is going to be a legit spot. It's not just one person. So I always like to leave a review once I've stayed there, let people know how it's still open. It's as nice as it was. Try to add a little more information.
Cell phone service.
Cell phone
like
service.
That.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll see you down the road.
Definitely.
And if you didn't check out our video yesterday, we actually went into the Seven Feathers Casino. I'll put a little link above here of us heading inside and having a nice dinner at the buffet.
At the buffet and chat until we close it down.
Yep, they made us leave. So
well, it's so funny because when we hang out with nomads, a lot of us do travel in smaller vans or vehicles and things like that. So when we could come to a place like the Seven Feathers Casino, and it's like a restaurant, and you could go in and sit at a table and kind of break bread with each other, that's a really nice setting to really get to know each other.
Yep, I agree. Well, thanks again, and I'm sure we'll see you down the road.
Definitely.
All right.
Till we meet again.